You're just right. You're baby bear's porridge, okay? Are we learning lessons when we eat somebody else's porridge? What people don't realize is that Goldilocks and the Three Bears, it's about capitalism. That's right. It's all about capitalism. Hi, hello, and welcome. Welcome to another Marty's Minute MENitations. I'm Marty, and this is our space, men. Men, this is our space to explore our sacred masculine, to dive into the depths of ourselves, our souls, to explore what the government and society doesn't want us to explore because they're afraid that we'll find our true potential, right? That's why they throw all these terms out like alpha male and toxic masculinity, right? For those men who feel like they can't live up to the alpha male expectation, you feel defeated, lonely, scared, weak. And to those of you who keep hearing this toxic masculinity phrase thrown at you, right? You feel belittled, beaten down, evil, bad. But Marty doesn't think you're evil. Oh no. Marty knows who you are. I see you for who you are. Look in my eyes. Look in my eyes. I'm looking in yours, right? Trust me. Marty loves you. I love you. I see you as the man that you are. You don't need to prove yourself to Marty. Oh no. You've already proven yourself to me, okay? By arriving, by being brave and courageous enough to join me on this path. To not be afraid, to not be scared. So thank you for joining. Thank you for coming aboard this ship as we travel the ocean of manhood and masculinity. And for you women and non-gender conforming individuals, don't worry. You're welcome to watch this as well, to listen in. If you're listening into the podcast, right? If you're on the YouTubes and you're watching this, you're welcome either way to be a part of this experience. Don't be afraid just because it's about men. Maybe you'll enjoy, Marty's musings on manhood. And everybody has a little bit of sacred masculinity in each and every one of us, right? So maybe we all need to come together and explore what Marty has to say. Marty's musings on manhood, as he just labeled it. He's happy to do that. He loves doing that. Marty got a hair in his mouth. He doesn't like when that happens. Still in there. This is the worst. I swallowed it. I want to lift men up out of this sewer, right? Out of this swamp of negativity and hate, right? Men keep being talked down to, oppressed, being told that they're not enough or they're too much. Well, Marty thinks you're just enough. Marty thinks you're just right. Marty's Goldilocks walking into the home with the three bears, right? The three bears aren't there. They've left, right? But Marty's Goldilocks. Imagine Marty with his long golden locks, right? And he walks in and he goes, hello, is anyone home, right? He looks at the table and there are 3 placemats set out with the porridge. And he goes, why is there porridge just left on the tables? Why would somebody leave their porridge on the table? Right? And he goes to one porridge and it's the Papa Bear porridge, right? And he tastes it and goes, ooh, it's too hot, right? Goes to Mama Bear's porridge, ooh, that's too cold. How did 2 separate bowls of porridge get 2 different temperatures? Were they made separately? Were they made differently? Are the bowls different? Was one bowl heated and one bowl was ice cold? Does Mama Bear like her bowl ice cold? Do they leave it in the freezer and then once the porridge is done, they pull that freezing bowl out of the freezer and they put that porridge in there and they lay it down on the table? And then, Baby Bear's porridge is just right. Also, why are bears eating porridge? I've never seen bears eat porridge. Anyway, Marty's getting carried away, right? But Marty, as Goldilocks, with his golden locks, walks in, right? He sees all the porridges. He goes out, he tries daddy's porridge, mommy's porridge. No, but baby's porridge is perfect. It's just right. Okay? Why was Marty mentioning this analogy? Right. You're Baby Bear's porridge. So Marty tries all the porridges. He tries Baby Bear's porridge, and it's just right, right? And with his golden locks, he eats this porridge and enjoys it, and Marty's a little sleepy. Goldilocks Marty is a little sleepy. So he just decides to sleep in, their bed. Why would you do that? Why would Marty Goldilocks do that? I don't know. Marty's just super tired, and he doesn't want to walk anywhere. Maybe he's in the middle of the woods, and he's scared of bears, right? Maybe Marty Goldilocks is afraid of bears. So he doesn't want to go out into the woods because there's bears there. But little does he know, he's in a bear's house. I mean, talk about irony, right? So I go upstairs, right? And I walk into the room, and they all sleep in the same room, apparently. So I try Daddy Bear's bed, and it's too hard because Daddy Bear is a man, and he needs his bed rough. And we'll get to that in a moment. But Daddy Bear's bed is all rough, and it's stiff, and it's hard. And then he tries Mama Bear's bed, and it's too soft because women apparently just like really soft things. But then I go to Baby Bear's bed, right? And somehow I fit in Baby Bear's bed. Well, I guess it's a bear, so it's it's a cub technically, and I try that bed, and it's the perfect size for Marty. It's not too hard, it's not too soft. So I feel it, and I go, ooh, and I'm drifting to sleep. Immediately when I put my head down onto the pillow, I start to drift to sleep. I'm already lulled into sleep by the beauty and the comfort of Baby Bear's bed. And then I wake up, and I'm surrounded by 3 bears, and Marty Goldilocks gets mauled to death. Apparently, they only eat porridge unless there's a human around, okay? And then they're going to eat you because they have a taste for blood, okay? Bears are meat eaters, so don't get swayed by this childhood propaganda that bears just like porridge. No, they like human flesh. So be careful. Don't teach your children wrong things, because then they waltz into the woods and they see a bear and they go, "Oh, they just eat porridge. Don't worry," right? They're not. It's not going to maul me to death. And that's what happens. And then these kids get mauled to death. And then, the writer of the 3 bears in Goldilocks doesn't get sued somehow. I don't understand that. Everyone gets sued these days. Marty gets sued these days. And I don't even want to get into it, but Marty is really frustrated by culture and society always trying to sue each other, right? Why can't we take our own responsibility? Why can't we take our responsibility for when, we read our children a story about 3 bears that eat porridge, and then our child goes out into the woods and gets eaten by a bear? We're going to sue the bear now? What are you going to do? Do you have bear liability insurance? Marty, why are you bringing up Martylocks and the 3 bears, huh? What does Martylocks and the 3 bears have to do with anything? Do you just want to imagine yourself with long golden locks, right? Dancing through the forest, catching butterflies, right? And then you get tired and hungry because you've been catching butterflies this whole time. Even though your mother set you out to run some errands and you're being lazy, right? Well, Martylocks, maybe you should, adhere to society's standards and do what they ask of you. Do what your mother asks of you. Well, maybe Martylocks wants to be free. Maybe Martylocks wants to explore the forest, right? How come we're not allowed to be free and explore the forest in this society? To catch the butterflies. That hair's still in my mouth. Is it? I can't tell anymore. And it's really starting to freak me out. Did I even... But what happens to Martylocks after he leaves the bear home, right? Because in the story, it says that Martylocks gets all scared. Jumps out the window. Does Martylocks break his legs, right? Does Martylocks hurt himself? Does Martylocks run into the forest? Run back home? Never take a risk again? Does Martylocks learn a lesson? It's an interesting question. We only get the ending, where Martylocks jumps out, but we don't know what happens. And that's the question. Are we learning lessons when we eat somebody else's porridge? Sit on somebody's chair and break it? Sleep in somebody else's bed? Are we learning our lesson when we jump out that open window? and run back into the forest. Marty, I still don't understand what this episode is about. I still don't know what you're getting at. You know, Marty likes to work in metaphors, in symbols. Okay? And maybe the three bears are a symbol for something, a metaphor. And Martylocks might be a symbol or a metaphor for something. Symbols, metaphors, what are they? You know, they're all representations of what's happening inside. So what's happening inside of you? You know, why does Marty have to spoon feed you the answers? Like he has to spoon feed people porridge. Like he would have to spoon feed porridge to a baby bear, right? After he gets caught for breaking into three bears' homes. And then he has to do community service at some bear orphanage, right? And then he's feeding bears porridge, okay, to make up for his crimes. But you know, Marty learned a big lesson. Martylocks learned a big lesson, okay? And what's the porridge a symbol of? In this hypothetical bear orphanage that Martylocks is volunteering at and spoon feeding, you know, bears their porridge. Marty, what are you talking about? Are you losing your mind? No, Marty's not losing his mind. Don't worry. Marty is very, very much has his mind. He has his mind locked up wherever minds are locked up, right? Are they locked up in the soul? Are they locked up in the skull, in the brain? Is the mind the brain? Or is the mind something else? And maybe Martylocks would make the excuse, well, I didn't need the Papa Bear's porridge. I didn't need the Mama Bear's porridge. Is the mind a network of consciousness that exists in our world, right? But Martylocks, you put your mouth all over their spoons and then put it back in the porridge. Is the mind something that acts independent of other people? Seriously, Goldilocks, why would you do that? Why would Goldilocks do any of that? Is the mind something that works in tandem with everybody? She's so rude, right? And no one points out that's is it its own network, its own life, right? What is the mind? If we were to ask the three bears, what is mind, right? Do you mind that I'm sleeping in your bed? Do you mind that I'm sitting in your chair? Do you mind that I ate your porridge? Marty, what are you talking about? Are you losing your mind? No, Marty's not losing his mind. Don't worry. Marty is very, very much has his mind. What happens to Martylocks? Maybe Martylocks learns a lesson. Why can't we learn lessons in this culture, in this day and age? No. Martylocks has to be stubborn, right? Goes home and complains to his mother. Well, these three bears scared me, right? And then they call the police. And they show up at these three bears' homes, this family of bears. And they knock on the door, right? Papa Bear answers that door, and they go, excuse me, you know, bear family, we heard some complaints, a little bit of harassment happening. We heard that you attacked a little Martylocks. And the Papa Bear goes, what are you talking about? We heard that there was a little Martylocks here that you threatened. Then the Papa Bear goes, well, actually, that Martylocks broke into our home, ate our porridge, broke our chair, and slept in our bed. And the cops go, well, did you report it? No, we didn't. Well, why didn't you report it? That's a little suspicious, don't you think? And then the Papa Bear is trying to explain himself, and then before you know it, he's in handcuffs on the hood of a car. They're putting him in that police car, and Baby Bear's like, Papa, where are they taking you? And Mama Bear's trying to hold Baby Bear back. It's like, no, don't. And Papa Bear thinks it's just a misunderstanding. Don't worry, right? I'll be out by supper. Keep my porridge nice and hot, because that's the way I like it. Before you know it, Papa Bear's sitting in an interrogation, getting reprimanded by these two cops, and they're playing good cop, bad cop, right? Oh, sure, we totally agree that the Martylocks broke into your home and stole your porridge, broke your chair, slept in your beds. And then the other cop comes over and he goes, oh, we know that's a lie, Papa Bear. We know that's a dirty lie, right? And screams in his face. And Papa Bear tries to stay level-headed. He doesn't want to get mad. You know, he doesn't want to be seen as, you know, an angry guy, right? So he calmly asks for his lawyer. He goes, I think I need my lawyer. I would really appreciate it. They get him a lawyer, right? And it's state appointed. And the thing is, the lawyer doesn't like bears, right? So this defense attorney, it doesn't like bears, but he has to represent Papa Bear. You know, he slacks on the case. He doesn't really do a good job. They bring Martylocks in, and Martylocks with, you know, his golden locks and his, you know, laissez-faire attitude. It's like, yeah, they threaten me, and they go, well, and they're playing it really cool because Martylocks is a cute little innocent, debutante from the other side of the wood. Marty wishes he could be that. Marty wishes he could be a Martylocks that just waltzes through life, can just walk into people's homes, eat their porridge, sit on their chairs and break them, and sleep in their beds. I mean, if it was up to Martylocks, I would have slept in the biggest bed. I would have slept in Papa Bear's bed because I like to feel small. I like to acknowledge my size in this vast universe. Okay, Marty likes to do that. He likes to take that time to just snuggle up into something big and cushy. Marty, I still don't understand what this episode is about. I still don't know what you're getting at. What people don't realize is that Goldilocks and the Three Bears, it's about capitalism. That's right. It's all about capitalism. It's about how capitalism forces little girls into homes to eat other people's porridge, to sit in their chairs, to sleep in their beds. You may be going, Marty, that's ridiculous. How's Goldilocks and the Three Bears about capitalism? How is it anywhere near talking about any kind of economic, structure, policy, or ideology? What, do you think it's just about a little girl walking into a bear's home? Bears don't own homes. Bears don't speak. Bears do not eat porridge. They don't sit in chairs, and they do not sleep in beds. Interesting, right? Isn't it interesting that, all these stories are just propaganda to brainwash your child into thinking it's okay to walk into other people's homes, to eat their porridge, to sit in their chairs, to sleep in their beds, to make them believe that we steal from animals. That's exactly what this is about. Goldilocks is just a metaphor for humanity stepping into the homes of animals, eating their food, destroying their chairs, and sleeping in their beds. And then the animals show up and they go, what are you doing in my home? I didn't welcome you here. And Marty's going to say something really controversial here. He just knows it because you can't criticize women at all in this day and age. But let's remember that it's women that want the comforts of life. They want it to be warm and nice. So, a woman breaks into a bear's home because it's cozy. Ooh, I'm going to break into this bear's home. I don't care about the consequences. I'm just a little girl, right? Marty wishes he could be a Martylocks. Break into a bear's home. Ooh, there's no consequences for me, right? I could eat someone's porridge. I could sit in their chair and break it. I could sleep in their bed. Doesn't matter. And if a bear attacks me, well, I'll just get the ranger, right? Hey, ranger, those bears attacked me. Well, looks like we'll have to put down those bears, which is what we're doing with the world. We step into the world's home. We don't even announce ourselves. Isn't that crazy that Goldilocks knocks on the door and then just walks in? Isn't a knock a percussive permission to enter the premises? If no one responds, don't go in. It's common sense. It's rude, right? Goldilocks is rude, just like how human beings have been rude for these past centuries. We knock on the wood and go, okay, we're going to walk right in. We're going to eat your food. We're going to destroy your home. Right? But Goldilocks might as well have just thrown a party and ruined the home. And then the bears show up and they're sad. They can't really do anything about it. They don't have a lawyer, right? Maybe the bears do have a lawyer. Maybe they have bear liability insurance. I don't know. Or human liability insurance. Wouldn't that be nice? For a human being to be held in court, held for their actions. Imagine that, 3 bears in a court, right? Sitting at a table, right, with their lawyer. Papa Bear turns over to whisper in the lawyer's ear. That'd be adorable. See, Marty would love to write a kid's book called The Three Bears in Court Against Goldilocks. Maybe we could teach some new lessons. Maybe we need to stop this capitalist, right, patriarchal, brainwashing of our children with Goldilocks and the Three Bears. And Marty needs to write the sequel for Goldilocks and the Three Bears, and it's about how the Three Bears bring Goldilocks to court, and Goldilocks goes to prison, or if you don't want to bring it that far because that's juvenile hall or whatever, or she does community service, right? Maybe she goes to the orphanage, to the bear orphanage, and feeds them porridge, right? Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't it be nice to see Goldilocks made responsible for her actions? Wouldn't that be great? That's the kind of world that Marty wants to live in. Marty would love to live in a world where human beings were held responsible for their actions But no, we go and we drill into the ground and we spill oil everywhere. We burn forests down. Marty's pretty annoyed by that. And Marty believes that it's because of this fairy tale propaganda. We think that bears are just people, right? That they could move somewhere else. Oh yeah, Papa, Mama, and Baby Bear, they could just pack up their stuff and move to another home in the forest. Until Goldilocks shows up into that home. And then Papa Bear's got to get a gun. Papa Bear has to get a gun. And then when Goldilocks shows up another time, he shoots and kills Goldilocks. And then what happens to Papa Bear? The police show up, knocking on their door. Papa Bear claims self-defense. But, how could Goldilocks, little innocent Goldilocks with her golden curls, her sweet voice, right? Her innocent demeanor, how could she ever cause harm to three big bears? Well, we all know what happened the last time, right? But the police don't want to hear it. They cuff Papa Bear up, put him in the squad car, right? And Baby Bear's crying, Papa, Papa, where are they taking you? Mama has to hold Baby back. Mama has to hold Baby back and comfort him because Mama has to be strong. Mama has to be strong. Mama Bear always has to be strong, right? Of course, they don't arrest Mama Bear, even though she's accomplice. She was the one that screamed and told Papa Bear to get the gun and to shoot at Goldilocks. You know that phrase, bears are a lot more afraid of you than you are of them? Well, this is the case, right? They were afraid of Goldilocks, and so they had to do what they had to do. And Marty's not a conspiracy theorist. He wants to clarify that. Marty is not a conspiracy theorist. He just believes that we are using these fairy tales as ways to make children believe that it's okay to just step into, other people's homes and take their things. To enforce this idea of capitalism, of domination, of human domination. I bet you're all going, okay, Marty, the innocent book, Goldilocks and the Three Bears, a threat to humanity. Yeah, it is. And Marty's not saying we should ban it, okay? Marty's just saying that maybe we need a new outlook. Maybe we need a new way to talk about it, okay? And it should be enforced to be read. People should have to read it, right? Because then Marty would, have the rights to this story, and then it'd be sold to all these other schools, and then he could quit that job at Dairy Queen, finally. Maybe we need to learn that we don't need all these things. This kind of hunger to dominate, to be the Goldilocks in our world, isn't a good thing. Just allow the porridge to sit on the table. Can we do that? Can we just allow the porridge to sit on the table? If you enjoy Marty's Minute Meditations, please like and subscribe to Marty's channel. Hit the notification bell. Also, you can send your gratitude by becoming a Patreon member. If you don't like a commitment, that's okay. That's why Marty has a PayPal account and a Buy Me a Coffee account. So you can make a one-time donation there. Anything you give is greatly appreciated. And until next time, I'll be here, waiting, ready to meditate.